Welcome, everybody. And this is our October meeting of the Statutory Advisory Board. This meeting is being held under Zoom and being recorded and will be available for the public at a later time. Welcome to the public that are here. We're going to change the agenda a little bit based on Justine and John being at a conference. So we're going to actually vote on the minutes later and go right into the commissioner report. If you're ready, John.
All set.
All right. Yeah, all set. Brian, thank you very much. And thanks the accommodation of moving our schedule a little bit here. We were considering trying to get the meeting rescheduled, but everything, since the technology works here, we decided we'd go forward with it and do what we need to do. So we're getting very acclimated to our new building, our new office space. We've had, yesterday I was in the office, there were 2 walk-ins, and there's several walk-ins a week. So people know where we are or are able to find us and come in and do what they need to do. So all of our staff seems to be acclimated to using the scheduling system. And it appears that Tuesday and Wednesday or Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are the heavier days for office attendance as far as the cubicles being almost full. And then Monday and Friday, you have plenty of cubicles available, smaller number of people in the office. So, but we're ready to work with our consumers. We have our ID machines up and running. So anybody who's requesting IDs, we're able to do those at the office now. COBs are going well, and we'll continue to do what we need to do. On the budget issue, obviously we all know that Washington is, the government is shut down. So that has impacted the way we get information from Washington. There is one individual who is working at the Rehab Service Administration. So if we email him directly, he'll be able to answer our questions. And there's a lot of reports that are due at the end of October and in November. So a lot of agencies do have questions. So they were able to get one person to stay working. Everybody else is on furlough so that they can answer any questions that come in from the different agencies around the country. As far as the finances go, we're doing well. We have money to take us into January. If the government is not open by then, if it's still closed, we're going to have to come up with some other strategies using state funds and that sort of thing. But we are still using state funds as much as possible now. We're being allotted the funding on every 8 weeks, I believe. We get a chunk of money from the state, so that's holding up, and so we're moving along, and things are pretty good. The morale of the staff is good. We had our annual meeting. Over 100 of our staff attended. That worked out well. We took a lot of suggestions of issues that we focused on communications, and we have a lot of suggestions we were reviewing yesterday at our executive staff meeting, and we're going to be implementing those in the very near future. And as far as hiring goes, we've had a couple of retirements in a retirement and a departure in September. So we have the position, one is starting in mid-October, and the other candidate has been selected, and they're currently working on a potential starting date in October. And that's pretty much it. Everything is going well. We'll go over to Justine for some updates on our programs and services.
Okay, Justine, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Hi, everyone. This is Justine. Since we last met, we've hosted a few programs, and we have many more coming up in October. So on September 10th, we hosted the Visions of Employment webinar. So that was the session that's really designed for employers, and it focuses on how to successfully onboard and support employees who are legally blind in the workplace. We had a great turnout for the event, and this year, for the first time, we were able to actually record that session. So it has been sent out to individuals who registered for the event, and we will continue to use it and share it as a resource on a more, ongoing basis, which we're really excited about. This morning, actually, today's quite a busy day. We hosted our the first of 2 reverse virtual job fairs. So employers were online, and they were ready to meet. They were able to meet job-ready candidates who are legally blind. They're our consumers, and following the event, they'll be able to connect with them directly with the support of our employment services team, as needed. To start working on setting up interviews and hiring and moving along with that process. So we're really excited that the first one is completed, and our second session is on October 21st. So coming up in a few weeks. Also in October, as I've talked about, our annual White Cane Awareness event, that is Friday the 24th. I'll just do my little plug here. Registration, we have a few more spots available. We do typically hit capacity for that event at the State House. So anyone who would like to attend and has not registered, it's going to be a great event, really powerful lineup of speakers and award recipients and people that we're honoring. So I encourage you to register if you plan to attend. Then I have an update on our older independent blind program. This year, we have successfully launched new peer support groups in Canton, Hingham, Weymouth, and Provincetown. So we're really excited about those groups. That brings our total of the peer support groups to 52 across the Commonwealth. So really, we collaborate with MAVI and Sight Loss Services to host those groups, which is really a testament to the power of collaboration. And we're really happy that we're able to provide the spaces where consumers can learn and share and support one another. So excited about the new ones and continuing the existing ones that we have. On the Randolph Shepherd vending program front, we have just solidified a new partnership that's really going to help the vending program move in a pretty exciting new direction. And it's a collaboration rather with FUTA. And it's, a partnership that's really going to increase our earning potential for vendors and allow us to reestablish our presence in some of the vending locations that have since, either closed as a result of COVID or things like that. So I'm really proud of the vending team for the work that they did making that happen. And then finally, I've provided updates about some of the in-services and trainings that our team have done this year, and we really took a strategic approach on that. I think you've heard me talk about it. So I had recently totaled up how many we did, so I wanted to share that with you, that from September 2024 through this August 2025, our staff completed 388 in-services or trainings across the state. So these were things held at senior centers, employment collaboratives, Lions clubs, multicultural centers, schools, collaborations with other agencies, kind of really, truly the gamut of things. So I thought that number was really impressive. Of course, we hope to continue to increase it and I guess beat it next year, if you will, exceed that. But we're happy that we were able to do that many. So that is what I have for updates today. Any questions for John and I?
I have a quick question, Justine. Can you just talk a little bit more about the peer support groups, and is there a registration process to be recognized as such?
Is there a registration process if you're interested in attending, Blair, or if in
If you want to
new...
be connected and be part of the 52 peer support group contingent?
So how does one get involved with the
Yeah,
program? How does one find out about them and how do they join them?
Oh,
Right.
okay. Attending. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I'd be interested in that. I'm not sure if that's what you were asking, Blair.
Yeah, so if we have a support group, but we're not recognized as one of the 52, and we want
Oh.
to
Oh.
open it up and get more attention within a particular area of the state, is there a registration process?
So 2 questions to you, Justine, I think.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. So generally, but I'm assuming you're referring to probably Central Mass-ish
Yes.
area. So most likely that would be through a partnership with MAVV.
Okay.
And I'm happy we can connect, further about that or offline. But they are a partner that I believe they oversee the majority of our support groups. Offhand, I'm thinking 35 plus. And then Site Law Services, which is generally more of the South Shore area, they oversee the remainder. So we can certainly connect, but we generally do those through the partnership.
Hmm.
Yeah. And Kathy, to your question, in terms of they're open to anyone who would like to attend, and there's no, John, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but there's no restriction to being a registered MCB consumer. So oftentimes we do have individuals who attend the support groups who don't necessarily meet the definition of legal blindness. They may not be registered with MCB yet or ever to be, which is fine. It's open to individuals with low vision, and really, there's no restriction as to needing to be registered with MCB in order to attend. So
Are they
great.
listed on your website or something? Like, how would somebody find out about them? Like when they're taking place, where they're taking place, that type of thing.
Yeah. I don't think they are listed on the website. John and I are just kind of looking.
I want to look at on MAVV's website.
Yeah.
They might have a better listing of Karen Hatcher has the breakdown of all. She's the one who manages that. But the groups are a mixture of individuals who are starting to experience vision loss and are low vision, but not yet legally blind, and then others who are legally blind. Some of the groups, our staff goes and does presentations about some of the items that we train people with. All the groups bring in different speakers talking about different areas related to some kind of vision issues. And so it's the content and how the meeting is put together is coordinated by what they call a group coordinator, and those coordinators meet with the manager at MAVV, and they sort of give them direction. I think there's a stipend that MAVV pays for the group coordinator to facilitate the meetings. Most of the groups are held at senior centers, at public locations that are available for individuals to get to. And family members sometimes go, but they either drive the individual and maybe wait outside, but some go in and sit inside at the meeting with the individual. So I've run into both situations at the different meetings I've attended, where when I came out, there was a few partners hanging out waiting for their person to come out, and others had gone in and are also learning about the information that is being talked about at the meeting.
Hi, John, this
Sounds
is
like a really
Brian.
great resource.
I was just going to suggest, or like if we had on the MCB website a link to the vision support groups where it goes to MAVV or the one in South Coast, whoever it was that Justine mentioned, the other one, but
Yes,
that'd probably be helpful to have just a reference to it, and obviously MAVV's still coordinating the times and all that, but it would be good to have the public that attend your website have a resource to go to.
Yeah, that's Justine will speak with Karen, and they'll work something out with our communications coordinator to get that up on. That's a good idea, actually, because I'm not sure if MAVV has it on theirs. I've never asked them.
I just found, sorry to interrupt, John. I did just find it, and I put it in the chat. But there's not necessarily times listed, so.
Okay.
They usually meet at a certain day, like the first Tuesday of every month or whatever it might be. And it's usually an all-day meeting, starts around maybe 11-ish, 10:30-ish. They have lunch together. That's why a lot of them use the senior centers. because they can get lunch there or get lunch brought into them. And then they usually wrap around 2 o'clock, 2:30. And so it becomes a day of, a good portion of the day for the individuals who are interested in going.
I think having it linked with your website would be great to maybe get too many people there. They'll have a problem, but that'd be great. All right,
Yeah.
so I'm going to go to the
A lot of
general.
them are done also at assisted living centers, and you'd be surprised at the amount of individuals that are either legally blind or low vision who live at that assisted living center, and those have very, very good turnouts. They just come and go right in at where they live, and those are pretty well attended.
I should think it would be. That's good.
Brian,
So let's
before
go.
you move
Okay.
on, I just have 2 questions for Justine.
Yeah.
Quick ones. You mentioned a partnership for the vending program, but I didn't quite get the acronym. Others may be familiar with it, but I'm not.
It sounded like FUDA. I was going to ask the same question. Yeah.
Oh,
That is it. It's just food A.
oh,
FUDA. Yes.
okay. And then my other quick question is, you mentioned the 388 in-services and trainings, which is remarkable. Congratulations on that. That's huge. I was just wondering if you had a sense of the number of people that you reached through those in-services and trainings, like attendees or something like that, even approximate.
We do. So basically the process that we have is that we have a spreadsheet, and as part of that spreadsheet, if somebody has a sense of how many individuals are attending, they will include that information when they send it to the person who's kind of coordinating all of this information together into the master spreadsheet. So for example, I did one at a therapeutic horseback riding facility with Alley Bull, the end of August, and I happen to know there were 42 people there for our session. So when I provided that information, we put 42. So we don't have it for every single one, and they're, not necessarily perfect numbers, but I do have a pretty good sense. And I can certainly report on that next meeting.
Sure. Just curious. Thank you, Justine.
Of course.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Justine.
Caroline and Nancy are here as well for the record, and I'm opening it now to our board staff. Do you have any other questions for John or Justine before we go to the public for questions? Because we're shifting this around based on their schedules.
My quick question, thank you for sharing that. Sorry, I was a couple of minutes late. I was stuck on the ride for a very long time. I just want to thank everyone for what you shared. Justine and John, I would love to connect with you offline just to hear more about those support groups, because I've always wanted to facilitate one myself, and I'm a licensed clinician, so would love to check in with you all about that.
Good idea.
Right.
Absolutely, we would welcome that.
Now have 53 instead of 52.
Thank you. Look at us, increasing the numbers by the minute.
Anybody else from the board? Any questions before we move to the public? No? Okay, so again, we're shifting this differently. It's not at the end. So if anyone has questions or comments, raise your hand, or if you don't know how to do that, speak up and we'll figure it out. I don't think I'm seeing any.
John and Justine, you might even have time for lunch today.
All right, so let's go to go back to the original number 1. Well, number 2, I guess, when we're voting to accept the minutes. So for everyone on the board, this is for June, July, and September. So we had a full quorum in June, which worked out. July, we only had Kathy and myself attending, so we didn't have a quorum. And in September, we only had, I believe, just Blair and myself. So what I'm suggesting and asking is those that were not at those meetings, take the word of those that were at the meetings and read the minutes that they are acceptable for you to vote in a quorum basis so that we can approve them all. So I'm going to make a motion separately, I guess, for each one, or we can do it all together.
Yeah.
If there's comments, people can interrupt, but I'm making a motion that we adopt and accept the June, July, and September board minutes. If there's any questions about doing it together, speak up now. Otherwise, could I have a second? And then we'll do a vote.
I'll
I'll
second.
second. Okay,
I beat you, Blair.
you did. And I
can-
just want to mention, Brian, that I was at the July meeting. I just could not unmute myself, but
Oh, okay,
I did attend the entire meeting.
perfect. Well, that we still need a vote anyway, but that's good for the record to note that. Sorry about that.
So you do have quorum in July.
Yeah. Either way, there's in September we didn't, and so if anyone, just go along with me and we'll all vote and approve. So I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Caroline said aye.
Aye.
Kathy,
Aye.
Nancy, and I will say aye. And anyone opposed? That's all of us anyway. So there's no abstentions. Very good. Thank you. We can move on. Nate, you're up.
Good afternoon. I'm gonna share my screen.
Good afternoon, Nate.
Hi, Nate.
Hello. All right.
Oh, here we go.
Right.
There we go.
I had brought up I was looking at the support group page. So not a lot of changes here. Things are kind of where we expect them to be. We currently have 898 children, so no change there. 3,323 SR adults receiving services. We have 211 youth for VR and 756 adults in the VR program. So far for closed cases this calendar year for SR, we've had 65 children cases closed. Most of those, if not all of them, went over to our pre-ETS program. We have currently closed 1,864 SR cases this year. For VR, this goes for our fiscal year. So this starts up in July 1st to the end of September. We have 35 successful VR closures and 26 non-successful closures. We do currently have 45 consumers employed. So we're waiting for them to hit that 90-day mark to move them over to successful closures.
Nice.
No variances in our VR demographic information that we list here. It's still pretty much the same percentages for each of the age categories. So not a lot of changes there. And for registrations, we currently have done 6,651 COBs this year, 888 IDs, and we registered over 1,300 people this year with the commission. So all right on kind of track where they were last year. No big variances. We should see about the same number of people coming into the agency. Probably a little bit more COBs going out this year than last year. We've kind of seen that trend last several years. Those have gone up a little bit. And like John said, the MCB ID machine, although we were providing them during the transition from office to office, it is back up and running in our new office, so people can stop right in Boston if they need one and grab one there as well. And that's the update for that.
Things are looking pretty good.
Yeah.
And we have a couple minutes if there are any other questions from the public. Nate can help with that if Justine and John are going to break out and sneak out. So any other questions? Otherwise, we're adjourning really early.
I just want to say, Nate, I had the honor and privilege to be in Paris last week. And the MCB identification card works wonderfully at all the museums and special venues.
Oh, good. Good to hear.
Yeah, so yeah, when you travel internationally and they have programs recognizing the visually impaired, the Mass Commission for the Blind ID works really well. That, of course, in conjunction with your white cane, but the fact that I had the ID with me is exactly what they required. So just a little bit of
That's great.
international trip tip.
That's great to know. And just for everybody listening too, if people do have issues with the ID and using it for any specific purpose, please let us know. I do call places to remind them pretty often of what the laws are around the IDs and what they are and aren't good for. Usually we have issues with people picking up medication, and some of the pharmacies a lot of them have a large amount of turnover, so just might need to be reminded of what those are used for. So anybody's running into any issues, just please let us know and we'll make that phone call.
The only thing you want to be careful not to use it at is at TSA.
Cannot travel
They
with it.
require
Correct.
passport or real ID. But
Yep.
any of the venues internationally that cater to the visually impaired, the ID works really well.
I assume that's the case in Boston too, Blair. Have you noticed that with
Yes.
your?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I expected that, but yeah, I'd be really
And
embarrassed if
transit
Europe allows it and Boston says, no, get out. That would be bad. Okay. All right, well, great. Any other questions, anybody, or comments? Well, that's a wrap. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
See
Awesome.
all
Thank
board
you.
Thank
members.
you, everybody.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.